Business Show. This week, I am going to be sharing 6 very easy ways that you can make passive income in your business. So if you've ever thought about selling something in your coaching business that isn't just one-to-one coaching, and perhaps you're not sure where to start, then this is going to be absolutely the episode for you. So for anyone who's not sure what passive income actually is, if you could think of one-to-one coaching, that is like how many clients you can take on is limited by the number of hours that you are available, because you have to physically deliver those sessions. So we've got 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That kind of limits the income that we can make because we are having to physically be with that person. So that's not passive income. That's the opposite. We're having to actually be there. Semi-passive income, I think, is things like group programs or perhaps like live rounds of courses where we are having to show up and do some work, but we get to work with a larger number of people. In my head, that sits in kind of like the semi-passive income box, if you like. Now, much more passive income is where you perhaps spend some time, creating the thing, but then after that, it sells on autopilot and there's no further effort required from you to deliver that product or that service or that offer. That's what we're talking about today. So we're talking about something that you do create, and then boosh, once it's done, it can be sold with a very minimal effort from you. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So I'm going to go through 6 different passive income ideas that you can implement in your business quite quickly. And then we're going to talk a bit about who this might be right for and a few things to think about and a few mistakes that sometimes people make with passive income. So the first thing that you could offer that is passive could be a printable or a template. So if you think about things like a meal planner or a habit tracker, or it could be a planning template. I used to sell a printed magazine, or I used to sell it digitally as well. There's anything like that people can print out, or any kind of templates, planners, all sorts of stuff like that. You can create those and you can sell them really, really simply, really easily. Like I say, I would say to make it really passive, I would err on the side of like digital download type of stuff. As I said, I had the Wholehearted Journal, which was like a printed magazine, and I loved creating that, but it was not passive. It was actually quite a lot of work to get it printed up and then to post it out to everyone. But yes, any kind of printable template type of thing, you can sell those in your business really easily and make passive income. And then idea number 2 is a video series. So there's nothing stopping you, getting your webcam on, like what I'm doing right now, and recording some videos and then having that together as a video series that you deliver for a fee, for cost. For people. Perhaps you are helping people, that the videos support people through creating some kind of outcome in their life. Perhaps you're educating them about something, teaching them something, anything like that. You can create a video series and you can sell it really, really easily. It would not take you long to do that at all. Bish bash bosh. Record your videos, you might want to lightly edit them. There you have it. You've got a video series that you can offer to someone in exchange for payment. That was idea number 2. Idea number 3 is an ebook. I think we're all familiar with the concept of an ebook. You can really just do this as a PDF that you create. You can, go all the way up to like creating something that you sell on Amazon. Particular episode of the business show is about keeping it really simple. So here I'm just thinking a PDF that you create with lots of information in there for people. Again, I think if you are helping people achieve an outcome, solve a problem, educating them around something, inspiring them around something, then you've got something there that you can sell to people. So an ebook is something that you could look at as well for passive income. The next idea is an email-based course. Now, the reason I'm not saying like a general course is because this is about keeping it really, really simple, and I'll explain a bit about this at the end. But an email-based course, but that is just simply delivered through emails, is really simple to set up. You can have that so that it's automatically delivered to people using some kind of email service. Like I use ConvertKit or MailerLite or something like that, and you can deliver that to people really, really easily. And the content for that could literally just be the written words in the email. So that's a really simple thing that you could create for passive income as well. It's an email-based course. You could do a bundle of PDF resources. So perhaps slightly different from a printable template thing, but you could create resources that are going to help teach people, help them achieve an outcome, whatever it might be. And you can put that into PDFs and create like a bundle that helps people with certain things and sell that. I have had something like that was for sale, which was I bundled together some of the resources that I had in my Fabulous You course, which was like my first group program that I ever ran, and I bundled those resources up and had that for sale at one point when I was a health coach. Really, really easy. And then you could also, the final idea is to do some kind of like audio collection. So this could be meditations, it could be you talking people through something. Again, it's that education, inspiration, helping them solve a problem, achieve an outcome, but you could do that through audio. So you could just record your voice and sell the audios. So that was 6. I'm going to run through them again so you can remember what they are. We've got printables or templates, we've got a video series, we've got an ebook, we've got an email delivered course, we've got a bundle of PDF resources, and we've got an audio collection. So there's loads more ways that you can create passive income, but I wanted to focus on the ones that I think are really, really simple and easy, because that's where we want it to be. You don't have to create everything from scratch. You've probably got things that you've talked about in some of your free content that that you can perhaps take a bit further in your paid stuff. You might have videos that you've done somewhere else that you can repurpose and look at and perhaps re-record them, but like I say, take things a bit further. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Think about stuff that you might already have in your business and things that you can just take that step further, so that people who are paying are going to get like an extra outcome from that. So really think about those. You don't have to have a community to manage with these things. That's another reason why I think these are really easy. Again, if we want to kind of keep it as purely passive as possible, don't have a Facebook group that you have to manage on top of it. Just make it simple. Just make it, here's the thing, and just make sure that whatever it is that you're offering is structured in a way that people can get what they need out of it without having to need a community or something as well. And be clear that that is the case with the product when you're selling it. You can make the tech really simple and inexpensive. And I think one of the mistakes that people make in online business is they perhaps invest in something like Teachable or Kajabi. I mean, Teachable's $99 a month for like the higher version. I think Kajabi's a little bit more than that. And they invest in these things like quite early on in the business, but that's like quite a big expense if you're just starting out. But the good thing is you can sell stuff without that extra expense. And I think it's really good to, certainly if you're near the start of your business and you want to play with this, then I think it's a really good thing to just look at your tech stack and keep it as simple as possible. And when I talk about a tech stack is basically what bits of tech are you using in your business to make it work. So, like in my business, I have quite a lot of things really. I've got Loom and ConvertKit and Teachable and Dubsado, and I've got Descript. I've got quite a lot of things, and that adds up to a cost. So we really want to keep it simple, especially if you're starting out. And again, something that people tend to do around this as well, and I very much include myself in this, very much, I mean, this is how I learned the lesson, is that they spend loads of time creating a passive income-esque thing, like a group program or an online course, but they haven't built up the online community or the audience to sell it to. So I honestly think like you've got to balance these things out. And for us people, again, this podcast, a lot of us listening to this are going to be multi-passionate, lots of ideas kind of people. And it can be really tempting. Like I just could not wait. Like once I got into like creating stuff, I was like, oh, I really, really love this. And I think that nature in us, sometimes we can rush ahead with that and do it, which is great. But if we don't have the community built up, then it can be really difficult to actually make that a profitable part of our business as well. So thinking of like these really easy passive income ideas, I think if you are at the start of your business and you haven't built up a massive community yet, I still think it's worth having some of like one of these or two of these or however many, because they should be really simple to put together, and they give people an option to have a taste of working with you in a paid way that isn't a full-on £2,000 coaching package. So I think there's a place for these even in an early business. But the reason why we're keeping it really simple and really low on the tech side of things is because we don't want to expend loads of time or money in making these happen when we haven't necessarily got the volume of people in our community to make it work financially, if that makes sense. But like I say, I think these things are really good for exploring and starting with that and starting to flex our creative muscles in our business and creating some of these things. And just to remember as well, you know, creating free content and creating free stuff is another way that we get to explore our creativity in our business, as well as creating things that are actually paid. So just to remind ourselves of that a little bit as well. So yeah, so that's where I would see some of these things sitting. And even if you're much, much further on in your coaching business, I think, again, there's lots of benefits for having these. And perhaps we're not charging a lot of money for these. Perhaps these are like under the £100, $100 like range. Perhaps they're a lot smaller. In fact, I'm going to be talking about a new product of mine, which is low cost. So I think there can be like a place for this in your business. And like I say, I think when people pay to work with you, get a really good result at a low level, it really helps inspire them to think about working with you further. So there's a good reason for doing these things, a good strategic reason, basically. And also, just to say, alongside you not needing expensive tech stacks, you don't necessarily need expensive equipment either. I think if you are recording videos, if you've got a decent webcam, if you've got a decent iPhone or a decent Android phone or whatever, sometimes you can get like results that are totally fine. You know, I think most people aren't expecting a pro video studio if they're buying a $50 program or something. I think most people wouldn't expect that. I think as long as you are giving it your best shot, try not to let the lack of expensive equipment and things put you off creating something. What I'm using right now to record this podcast and record this video is I've got a Logitech webcam, which is HD quality, and I've got a Yeti microphone. This was a little bit more expensive, the microphone, actually, and the webcam. But I've managed absolutely fine without them for quite a while. You can also get the Blue Snowball mic, which I think is a little bit cheaper. If you want to record audio, even just like a good pair of headphones with one of the little microphones near your mouth, like they can be fine, to be honest. So try not to let that stand in the way of just creating something and making it really simple. So if this has been helpful, if this has given you ideas, if this has got you riled up thinking, right, okay, I want to create something in my business that's really simple, where I can, you know, have passive income and I can see strategically how that's going to benefit my business, then do check out, I've got a new program which is all around how to create these things and get them ready for sale and sell them really simply. It's going to help you do all of this stuff, put everything together, you know, make sure that you've got the tech that you do need, show you how to set that up, but in a really simple and low cost way. So there's quite a few different low cost ways of doing it. And yeah, it's going to be fab. So that's my super simple passive income. That is the course that I have. You can check that out. If you head over to Wholeheartedly Laura, you'll see information there. If you check out the description box, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you check out the links in the description in the podcast as well, you will find out a bit more about it. But basically that program is going to take these ideas and show you how to create and set everything up for sale and make it something that you've actually got on your website and that people can click a buy now button and actually buy it. Because until we know, we don't know. And this was me a few years ago, and I think there's lots of really simple, straightforward ways of doing this that can be really beneficial. And like I say, it's such a good opportunity for us to flex those creative muscles and have fun making something. There's nothing like the feeling of having a PayPal ping on your phone when you are not actively working is the best feeling. It's one of the best feelings in the world. And if I can help you have that feeling, experience that, then I would be very, very happy. It's only £27 or $37. It's a low cost course. You know, I wanted to create something that was low cost, that was very actionable, and it's going to help you do this. And honestly, I want to see all you guys having your PayPal pings. So that is something to check out. And as always, guys, if you found this episode helpful, if it's inspired you in some way to think about what you're going to do in your business, please let me know. Pop me a DM. I'm Wholeheartedly Laura on Instagram. Do leave me a comment if you're watching this on YouTube or my blog. Please, if you found this podcast helpful, please leave me a review. That would be so helpful on Apple Podcasts. Just hit the leave a review button. And I will see you again next time. Take care. Have a wonderful week. Bye.